Mike's Daily Podcast.
Uh-oh.
We are the knights who say... Nee.
That took all 3 seconds. That's not good. That means I have to restart this computer again. What is going on? A computer that runs an entire radio station is slow. This isn't good. I'm a little bit frightened. That's my job, is to be a little bit frightened. But I'm not. I'm not gonna be full of fear today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna look life in the eye, and I'm gonna snarl, because that's how I am today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Except if I had Facebook stock, I might be a little bit nervous, because it had an underperforming period, and that's what they call in stocks a dip. So I guess that's some crazy bleep. Hey, I cussed on my show and I bleeped myself, so that's
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I bleeped myself.
Phrasing?
I know, Archer. That's so true. My name's Mike.
Daily.
This is FF episode
Podcast.
1678. Dang it. Oh my gosh, my Facebook has 9 notifications. Why do I bring this up? Because that's usually I only have 1. So something odd is happening. What's going on? There's people. Oh, so somebody walked in, and people are responding to little posts that I comment on. I've been commenting on other people's posts lately a lot, but this lady right here has commented on every single post I've ever done. Isn't that true? That is right, Michael Masters. This is Mata Bruta. And you love social media. Michael Masters, I am social media. I have created the social media. I was the social media before the social media. Social media. Amazing. Look who else walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. Wait a minute. Where's my friend guy that shows up all the time?
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? I drove a car into Café Anyway. Do you know that? You did. You drove it right into Café
Anyway.
Amazing. So, look, now it's time for a picture.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Girls on film. I know you've been wanting to do that forever. Girls on film. Or maybe not. The podcast picture today is of the wonderful, always joyful, always joyous Basil the Boxer. Almost 10 years old. And there he is up on this hill overlooking Lake Chabot. What do they call this park? It's across the street from Fairmont Ridge. And I enjoy going there because I'm getting sick of people. I'm getting sick of going. And this is my Angry Mike time. Angry Mike time. Woohoo! Angry Mike.
Oh, my.
Angry Mike. It's the Mike Hulk. Ooh. Mike Hulk smash. Wait, give me something to smash. Well, give me something to smash in now. Thank you. Yeah, because it's a short show, and I'm angry, so it's a Shangri show. Welcome to Shangri-La. This ain't no Shangri-La. Do you know Shangri-La? That's a Don Henley song from his End of the Innocence album. Yes, I'm gonna sing a line from End of the Innocence. Who knows how long this will last, but now we've gone so far, so fast. But somewhere back there in the dust, that same small town in each of us, I need to remember this. So baby, give me just one kiss, and let us take a long last look before we do something. So lay your head back on the ground, let your hair fall all around me, open up one last request. This is the end. This is the end of the innocence. Oh yeah, let me have just one last kiss. That's what it is. That was a song Bruce Hornsby put the piano track on a tape, on a cassette. Cassette! You millennials out there, I just said the word cassette!
Right? God.
You have no idea what a cassette is, do you? But you know what? He put it on a cassette, gave it to Don Henley. Don Henley heard the music and wrote lyrics. Bam! Collaboration from afar. Nowadays, we can collaborate back and forth on the internet easy peasy. And I said easy peasy, and I hate that phrase, but hey, it still was an interesting thing done back in 1989. That song was written and recorded and had everything to do with Ronald Reagan. That old man, the tired old man that we've elected king, that's Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Well, I didn't know I was name-checked in a Don Henley song. That's kind of special, and I feel good inside, like little tiny worms are digging into my stomach. Ew! What I didn't really mean to go there, but... So, here's the thing, though. We all die. We all turn into worm food, and that's a happy thought. But somewhere, I have lost my thought. Oh, it's the Fairmont Ridge staging area, basically, is what that is. But it overlooks... When I go to the Fairmont Ridge staging area now, I get so irked by the people that go, how old's your dog? And I did get one of those, even though I was across the street in this other park that is not as heavily visited as the one across the street, but has a great view of Lake Chabot in Castro Valley. And that is my little, what do you call it? My little travel log for today. You're welcome. And where did that go? Where did that go? It irks me to no end when I can't find it. There you go. That was my little... No, I was looking for a little other kind of little thing. Not Irish. Oh, this is it. So, and that's my tip. My travel tip for today. Thank you. So, Dennis Prager. He is a conservative talk show host. And oh my God, the guy got stuck in what you call a logic pretzel yesterday. And I only listen to his show because we carry his program on one of the radio stations I work for. And I have to go over and I have to take meter readings and look at the calibration of the watts and the voltage and see the modulation and blah, 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 blah. And I go over and I'm listening to him. And he is having an argument with a caller. And it's a question that a lot of people that are on the left. Oh, and he hates the phrase on the left. Left. He thinks leftists and liberals are different. He can deal with liberals. He hates leftists, wants them out of the country. So you can't even say the word left. You can't even say the word lift. You can't even get a Lyft ride or an Uber ride around Dennis Prager because he's so angry about that. But Dennis Prager got so incensed when this person, probably a Democrat, said, hey, how do you square your love for Trump with the fact that he treats women so poorly and that he, what's the thing he said? Like, that he said that thing on tape. And even though that was over a year ago, I guess the question to Trump would be,
how many times did you look so innocent into your wife's eye and lie to her about Lisa? Mr. Chairman.
And, well, what he did, Dennis Prager got incensed, and he said, look, that was something recorded. It was supposed to be a private conversation, and it got leaked to the press. How many private conversations, sort of the, let ye with no sin throw the first stone. How many private conversations have you had that you were embarrassed by? And that's where he left it, and he was incensed and angry. He goes, Richard Nixon said very anti-Semitic comments behind the scenes with thinking that there wasn't anyone listening, but yet he did so much for Israel. And Dennis Prager is Jewish, so There is his reasoning. But then someone called in about an hour later, and I happened to catch this one too, and this time was a Republican that called in and said, look, no, wait a minute, Dennis. The Bible says, and Jesus said, if you have sin in your heart, that is enough to have made the sin. And he brought up the thing in the Bible about if you look at a woman and you think impure thoughts, you have lust in your soul, and thus you have sinned. And Jimmy Carter had a whole thing about that back in the day. I won't get into that at this time. Oh, Facebook stock has dropped like crazy. Did I mention that earlier? It's just crazy, Facebook stock. And I don't own any. And I'm kind of glad I didn't get any. And I have a financial advisor, and he told me don't get any. And he didn't get any. And wow. Because it has gone up and up and up over the past couple of years. But, with all the controversy lately, it has...
we have a basic responsibility to protect people's data. And if we can't do that, then we don't deserve to have the opportunity to serve people.
Well, Dennis Prager's response was simply the same thing. And there you go. I don't understand. That's been the big question to people in the Democrat Party looking over there to the Republicans. Why are you okay with this guy?
President Putin was extremely strong and powerful.
How are you okay with him and all of his extra doings and whatnots? And how do you call that a Republican? We don't get it. So at any rate, that's there. That this ain't no Shangri-La, my friend. And the shepherd tone is this thing that goes... And it keeps going up and up and up, like Facebook stocks seem to be going. And it never goes, but in this case, it never goes down. It's a little trick that they do in audio in the world of frequencies and music, and musicians do it too. Well, you have to kind of climb the scale, but then you secretly, without the ear noticing, you're able to, because you eventually, I'm not explaining this correctly, but eventually you get to the top of the frequency, but you're able to somehow, and I don't know technically how it's done, make the tone continue to go up. So to the ear, it sounds like the tone never ends. It just goes up and up and up and up. And they use that a lot in movies, TV shows. Some songs do that. It just keeps going up and up. And it's annoying because your body needs resolution. That's what music resolves itself. Many like pop songs resolve itself. There's you have a beginning and end. You'll have a chorus. The ear needs to hear conclusion and finish and resolution. And as this podcast is resolving itself as we go outside a Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. So in this wonderful podcast, and I've railed against this podcast before because they upset me over the whole... Oh, what were they annoying me about? Oh, the immigration situation. They got me mad about something. I can't remember. But on the show, on the media, they talk about the shepherd's tone. And I'm not going to play it because it's not going to open in time for me to wrap this up. But they talked about how this whole Trump administration is like a shepherd's tone. It keeps going up and up and up. Like we get one controversy after another. Nothing gets resolved. He says the thing about Putin.
President Putin was extremely strong and powerful.
And it just and he gets no blowback except from the Republican Party, but then even that goes away super fast, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And they also pointed out the interesting fact about, it's not the latest on the media episode, by the way, but the second to the most recent, and about how the media, like journalists, have so many questions, but they've been defeated at every turn, and they've been called fake news by the president, and they've been given so much...
You are fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
Antagonism from this administration, and they are now like helping each other out. Like the one, there was Sarah Sanders was moving on from another reporter, but this reporter had another question, she went to this guy reporter, and the guy reporter said, no, wait, what did she want to ask? Let's go back to her. And so they're helping each other out in the reporting, because it's in the reporting pool, it's just been one crapola thing after another. Now, it's not an easy business to be in, journalism. That's why I'm not in it. And that's why I didn't cover any news today, except about that Facebook slower growth thingy. And dang. But I did learn, and I'm not really, I mean, this is I get political on this podcast, but I didn't even know what an Overton window was. And that is when crazy extremist issues are presented over and over again to the point that we don't know. It's sort of like the frog being boiled. I hate that analogy. The frog being boiled in a pot of water that the temperature's been increased very slowly so the frog doesn't notice it. And that the Overton window is about how you're moving the window to the point that the public doesn't realize, oh my God, I didn't realize that I just accepted throwing babies into cages at the border. I didn't know that was acceptable now. Till all of a sudden, everybody goes, wait a minute, that's not acceptable now. And suddenly there was a huge blowback again. Blowing in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. That is not a Don Henley song. And Don Henley has way too much money for me to even sing one of his songs, but he's in the popular culture. Oh my God, I didn't even get to Sergio Marchionne dying of shoulder complications. The guy from Chrysler Fiat. That was bizarre. And I don't have any, I won't go into that today, but that was about it. So what you say in private doesn't matter, I guess, according to Dennis Prager. And I didn't even get into my impression my neighbor does, where she goes, yes, I grew some artichokes today. She does that. Do you know anybody that does the, oh, I hope you have a good day? They do that kind of thing at the end. It's charming. It's wonderful. It's the world we live in. But the next show, we will have the wonderful Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. Thank you for listening to my Shangri Show.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!